Most people don't fail because they are not talented. They fail because they stop too early. They stop after the first rejection, after the first embarrassment, after the first moment when life doesn't go the way they imagined. And maybe right now you know exactly what that feels like. Maybe you've looked around at other people and quietly wondered why they seem so confident, so successful, so certain about their future while you are still trying to figure yourself out. Maybe you've had nights where you questioned whether your dreams are even realistic. Maybe you've worked hard and still felt invisible. And the hardest part is not the struggle itself. The hardest part is trying to believe in yourself while nothing around you gives you proof that you should. There was a young student who once felt exactly the same way. He wasn't the smartest person in his class. He wasn't naturally gifted. He didn't come from a wealthy family. Every morning, he sat at the back of the classroom, watching other students answer questions confidently while he stayed quiet, hoping the teacher wouldn't call his name. He compared himself to everyone, and every comparison made him feel smaller. At home, things were not easy either. His parents worked long hours just to keep the family going. Sometimes the electricity went out while he was studying. Sometimes he had to choose between resting and helping his family. He wanted a better future, but deep inside, he carried a fear that maybe people like him were not meant for success. One day, after receiving poor exam results again, he walked home slowly, avoiding eye contact with everyone around him. In his mind, he repeated the same sentence over and over again, "Maybe I'm just not good enough." That sentence became dangerous because the more he repeated it, the more it felt true. And this is what happens to many people. Failure itself is not what destroys confidence. Repetition does. When you repeat negative thoughts long enough, they start sounding like facts. You stop seeing possibilities, you stop trying, you slowly become a spectator in your own life. But something changed for that student one evening, not because of a motivational speech, not because somebody suddenly saved him. The change started with a simple realization. He noticed that the students he admired were not always smarter than him. Many of them were simply more consistent. They studied even when they were tired. They asked questions even when they felt embarrassed. They failed, but they kept showing up anyway. That realization bothered him, because for the first time, he understood that success was not only about talent, it was about habits, small actions repeated every day. So he made a decision, not a dramatic decision, not the kind that instantly changes your life overnight. He decided he would stop focusing on being the best and start focusing on being better than yesterday. The next morning, nothing magical happened. He still felt insecure, he still doubted himself, but instead of giving up, he studied for 1 extra hour. The next day, he woke up earlier. The next week, he spent less time complaining and more time learning. Slowly, discipline replaced excuses. And here is something important people rarely talk about. Growth is quiet. Most of the time, you don't feel yourself improving. There are no dramatic movie moments, no background music, just ordinary days where you choose not to quit. Months passed. His grades improved little by little, not enough for people to suddenly praise him, but enough for him to notice. And that small progress gave him something powerful: evidence. Evidence that effort changes people. Confidence is built like that, not from empty motivation, not from pretending to be fearless. Real confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. When you tell yourself you will study, and you do it. When you say you will wake up early, and you actually get up. When you continue even after failing, your mind begins to trust you. There will always be people who seem ahead of you. People with more money, more opportunities, more support. But comparing your beginning to someone else's middle will always make you feel behind. The truth is, everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. Some people are struggling with fear, some with loneliness, some with pressure, some with disappointment. Life is difficult for almost everyone in different ways. The real question is not whether life is unfair. The real question is whether you will let unfairness stop you from becoming who you could be. Think about how many dreams disappear, not because they were impossible, but because people became tired of waiting for results. We live in a world that wants instant success, instant followers, instant money, instant recognition. But meaningful growth takes time. A tree does not become strong in one night. A person does not become wise after one failure or one victory.